Hello, friendos, and welcome into Leading Off. I am the Welsh, that is Bubba, and congratulations for still being here. Championship week, final 2-run week in head-to-head, or the absolute final stretch in your rotos. Congrats to you, and thank you to all that still are hanging out with us on a weekly basis. Excited to be here. We're going to be talking about all the stuff and things, recapping the weekend, talking about injuries, and whatever the hell we can do to prep you for this final week. It's crazy. And all of this is brought to you by PrizePicks. Go and check out PrizePicks today. Use the promo code Leading Off. Get a 100% match up to $100. Start prize picking today because we're going to be prize picking in just a little bit. Bubba, it was a big weekend. There's only a little bit left. What is the state of the state in the Bubba world of baseball?
It's good. It's a grind. I have a lot of teams that are either in like the top 3 in a lot of leagues, and there's room to make it. It's been a fluctuation over the last few weeks. So every night I have my tradition of checking standings, and it's just like, okay, we moved up. Oh, we moved down a half a point. Like, this is the world of Roto. I know you're a head-to-head guy. This is the world I live in, and I'm so close. I can taste a huge year. I also realized that just utter sadness is 2 weeks away also if it goes the opposite direction.
Yeah, no, it really is. I enjoy Roto more than I have ever before. My thing has always been the people that scream Roto's the only way to play, because then you're a cry. I think you're a crybaby, because it's like a crybaby affectionately. However you want to play fantasy. I'm not the gatekeeper of fantasy. I never will be.
Goodness.
And I'm not, thank God. But I'm also never going to just tell people how you have to do things. That's the difference. Everybody else will tell you how things have to be. But I do think in the state of like, well, Roto is superior because at the end of the day, it is accumulation without a lot of fluctuation of the capacitors of the things that are going to happen in the playoffs. And it's like, okay, that's fine. That's fine if you like to play like that. I have always liked to play baseball similar to real baseball being played with playoffs and stuff, but I understand the heartbreak of being great the whole year, having one bad week and losing, and people wanting a variance of all that work to pay off in Roto. But when it's the people that tell me that Roto is the only way to play, then I'm like, oh, I understand you a little bit more. You're a crybaby because you lost one time and you can't handle it. I like all of them. I like to play. I don't love points. I'm not the biggest points person, but I still play in points leagues. Hey. I play Roto head to head. I can do it all because I like it all, because I love fantasy baseball.
And that's the beauty of where the formats are going these days, is there's a little bit for everybody. You can play best ball, you can play DFS, you can play Roto, you can play head to head. There's whatever your app. It's like going to a buffet. What do you want to eat today? Knock yourself out. It's a beautiful thing. And like you said earlier, it's one thing I learned a long time ago when I met you and Bogman. And it's one like thing that always sticks in my head is, remember, in the end, this is supposed to be fun. So do whatever you do to have fun. Don't listen to some dumb over there that claims they know everything. Do what you want to do to have fun. And that's why we're here talking to you guys for the final 2 weeks of the season, because baseball is fun.
It's supposed to be fun, and a lot of people make it not fun, and that's something, Joe Pisapia, I was lucky enough, I didn't get to be part of the creation of this show, but I have gotten to be a part now, I think, of more of the majority of the show. Now this is coming to an end of my 2 years of being on this show, and this show I think has only been alive for 3, so I have been on more than it has not been. But something I've always been, it's big for me, is not just the fun, but also being entertaining and kind of, pushing the buttons and bringing a quality product of not just the information, but the, the fun and the jokes and stuff like that. And that's what this show has kind of been built around. And a lot of people lose that fun at all different times and take it very seriously. It is serious, especially when there's a lot of money on the line. We understand that, but try to have fun, find ways to have fun. I'm always trying to experiment with different ways in baseball to do some of that. And it's good to see some good vibes in the chat. Whip said it feels good to be able to tune into Leading Off this late into the season. Let's go win a championship. Yeah, damn right. I got a question here. Whoa. We had Mike, who said, I'm in the championship my first year playing, which is pretty sweet.
It's all downhill from here, buddy.
Yeah. Never going to recoup that or anything like that. Just letting you know. And then I thought there was one more in here that I wanted to highlight. But either way, it's just good to have all you guys here. So we're going to be answering some of your questions. We're going to get into all the news and notes, the stuff and the things. Let's start talking about it. Let's get into all of it. By the way, I've had a better year best balling than anything else, which is strange because I'm not a best ball person per se. Like I do like 30 or 40 leagues or anything like that, but I got a really high hit rate this year in best ball. So I might, unfortunately, as somebody who plays and has their first year winning a championship and like, well, I got to play in 6 of them. I feel like I'm going to like triple my best balls and
You don't have that personality, Welsh. I've never seen you do anything like that.
No, I'm not manic or crazy or anything like that. All right, let's get into some of the stuff and things. Juan Soto had a pair of homers, drove in 6 runs on Sunday as the Padres beat the A's 10-1, and Juan Soto making a nice little strong push towards this back half of the year where Tatis is kind of leveled and Manny Machado has tumbled. Juan Soto kind of keeps it going. What do you think Juan Soto's value is going to look like next year?
It's going to be interesting for one to see where he lands next year because there's still talks that they might move him and do different things there. But if he's with the Padres in this lineup, he's still a back end of the first round guy. You're going to get all the narratives that he doesn't steal bases. Okay, whatever. But when he's elite, he's still one of the most elite hitters in baseball. There's no denying that. We're seeing glimpses of it now. I think he's still worthy of a back of the first round, early second round pick.
Juan Soto or Mike Trout next year?
Oh, Soto. I love Trout, and it's the old saying, well, when healthy, Trout's the best. Yeah, he's never healthy anymore. Like, you just can't count on it.
Juan Soto or Vladimir Guerrero Jr.?
Juan Soto.
God, can I get you?
I'm out on Vlad.
Juan Soto or Ellie De La Cruz?
I'm gonna go Juan Soto still.
I know we got to say it on our breath. This is how you talk about taking someone over Ellie. Like,
yeah. I don't need that batting average dump. It's just not gonna happen anytime soon.
I mean, the stolen bases are unreal, and the
I'd get those somewhere else. Just the way I draft. Like, that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Juan Soto, it's a good spot to be.
He's a great hitter. He just had a horrible year, and people started poo-pooing him everywhere, and people forget he's also super young. Like, he probably still has his best years ahead of him. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah. Jazz Chisholm, we talked a little bit about him last week. Hit a grand slam, second straight game. Also walked 3 times on Sunday. Marlins had a big win over the Braves. And Jazz just kind of pushing that narrative where we had mentioned second base is so much deeper and it's going to be so much deeper. And this is a really positive turn for someone that has been oft injured, that he's going to have like a nice little jolt at the end. He's almost think about this. I just want to point this out. And this is why, like, I fell into him at the beginning of the year and it's been wrong. But like, think of the time that he's missed. He's almost got a 2020 season. He's almost a 2020 season under him. And he's been on the IL like 6 times or something like that. 12 times. I don't know. No, he's been on the IL a bunch and missed a bunch of times. And he's almost got a 2020. I think he's 2 stolen bases away, 2 home. He's 2 in one direction, 2 home. I think it might be 2 homers away from a 2020 season, which is relatively absurd. So good on Jazz. A couple pitching performances. One not so good, one really good. Cole Reagans pitched 6+ innings, but allowed 5 runs on Saturday. It was a no decision. He did strike out 7. He ended up walking 2. And looking, I mean, this seemed like it was obviously a rougher matchup. He had velo upticks. That's still been consistent. His average is around 96.5. He was up 97. He touched just around 100. His usage looked about the same. The fastball ended up getting a whole lot of it, 32% swing and whiff rate. But the curveball, check this out. Curveball had a 47% CSW, 56% swing and whiff, but he just didn't have it. He just didn't have it in this game and got beat around a little bit. So I don't know. This actually might be not the worst thing on the planet if you're thinking of next year value and kind of bringing that down a little bit. But no worries about Reagans if you have, only this week to go and one more start, right?
That was a question I had for you. I'm not worried. We said this going into it that, he's had really nice matchups. He's flourished like he should. The tough ones are coming. He's at Houston this week. That's tough. And I was setting some lineups before the show. And if I have certain other options, which this time of year you really don't, is the thing. You don't. So that's why I'm pitching Reagans probably at 90% of the time. But there is 10% of me that is looking at other options if possible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to attempt to, but in like points leagues, I think it's all good.
Yes, 100%.
If you're in
if it's a roto and you're worried about like ratios per se, then it's there. Otherwise, because strikeouts will still be there no matter what. I think I could be wrong. Honestly.
Well, I mean, he had 7 in this past.
That's why I figure he'll still get the strikeouts. It's just a matter of can he keep like 3 runs or less. Because the Astros are just on fire. They're hitting everything right now.
I think the tough part is if you're in a weekly lineup thing. If you're in a weekly setup and you got to make the decision, I'm probably putting him out there.
Well, he's in mine. He's in mine right now. Yeah.
Yeah. In a head-to-head format with daily transactions, like you kind of get you kind of get it slick.
Couple days to
Yeah,
see.
you can kind of figure it out, see where you're at. If your ratios are kind of just go for it with the strikeouts. If they're really tight, maybe you don't want to, like Bubba is saying. Bubba brought up this name, and he was dominant. I actually picked him up in a couple leagues, in my 16-team league, because he was available. But Sawyer Gipson-Long was insane. Had a no decision against the Angels, 11 strikeouts over 5 innings, 23 swing and whiffs on 82 pitches, 10 on his changeup, and 9 on the slider. He had a 45% CSW.
Pretty good.
I mean, that changeup ratio is very similar to like what we saw with Jordan Wicks early on. You have a devastating slider changeup combo with obviously teams that are not locked into how to hit around him. This was an insane performance. So the question becomes, what trust do you have this week in Sawyer?
You mean as he faces the Oakland Athletics in Oakland? Oh yeah, no, I picked him up everywhere I could this past week. I couldn't get it, and I'm starting him with confidence this week.
Sawyer Gipson-Long or Cole Reagans?
I'd rather have Sawyer Gipson-Long.
Yeah. Okay. I think so too. I picked him up. Yeah. And we give a shout out. You mentioned it on the show last week. This was a Nick Pollock special. So
he was all over Reagans, and now he's all over Gibson. Like, it's just, there's a reason certain people are pitching gurus.
Yeah. Well, we got to ask him that question too. Be like Cole Reagans or Sawyer Gipson. I mean, Gipson-Long's here's the only negative.
I'll tweet him right now and see if we get an answer by the end of the day.
Here's the only negative on this is that we should DM. I should DM him.
I'll message him right now.
Yeah, you're likely to get a quicker answer. My only thing would be Sawyer Gipson-Long's ability to get a win, even though it's against a great matchup, might be a tiny bit less than what Reagans is, because Reagans can go 5 or 6. I don't know if Sawyer Gipson-Long is going to be able to. So just keep that in mind if you care about that. One thing I said last week that I still think holds here, you should really not be crazy afraid of ratio-based pitchers. Guys, I know you want your wins and stuff like that, and I don't want to take that away from anybody, but if you can get a guy that is dominant for 4 innings, they can help you across the board. You can get big strikeouts. You're also seeing some of these guys that were starters that are moved down a little bit into shorter roles. They're unleashing kind of bigger stuff, and they might be more dominant, where a guy goes only 4, he can punch out 8, where if he stretched out to 6, he might bring his stuff back down a little bit. I'm just not afraid of these guys. And obviously, Sawyer Gipson-Long, it's kind of indifferent anyways, because he's got like the best matchup you could possibly have. So he's probably going to be the number 1 pickup streaming pitcher in the
quick answer from Mr. Pollock via text message here. He says Cole Reagans, Gibson has the shag rug. Must be a pitcher list term I'm not aware of.
What the hell is that? What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know, but he's got, maybe it's because it's only a couple starts. He wants to see more. I don't know. But he still says Reagans over Gipson-Long.
All right. What is the
I don't know what the shag rug is. It's great. It's absolutely amazing.
I'm going to DM.
I'll message him again. I got him on the line.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm going to DM him. I'm DMing him right now. Hold on. This is live on this show. I'm DMing him.
I said, what the shag rug?
In the hell is the shag rug? All right. I just text Nick Pollock, so we'll see what we get here. This is elitism in fantasy baseball. We can text the greats like Nick Pollock, and we can get hopefully instant answers.
I don't call it elitism. I say putting our time in for years.
Yeah, that's exactly. And also like doing stuff with these guys and everything like that. Yeah. So Sawyer Gipson-Long.
You can get his number 2.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, here's a response. Oh my God.
Yeah, he gets mad when we don't know the pitcher list terms. Trust me.
Do you know what he did?
I got yelled at on air 2 weeks ago.
Did you just get what I got as a response? He sent me I don't want to be careful about my phone. He sent me a link to the pitcher glossary list.
I almost did that just for fun. I'll look it up.
God.
Keep running the show here. I'll go check it out.
Oh my Nick Pollock.
I told you it was a term.
He bossed me. He gave me a link to something. He did a Jake Seeley. Check the link instead of giving me the damn answer. God dang it, Pollock. All right. We're going to answer your questions. I forgot to mention that. If I didn't, we're going to answer a few of your questions here in a little bit.
I'm curious the final 2 weeks of the season here, folks.
Yeah, I know it is. We also do have a Where in the World Are Welsh and Corbin Carroll, which I'm going to do here in just a minute. But I do want to quickly roll through the hitter grid for the week, and then a few pitchers for today and for Tuesday, just to kind of like really get you guys rocking here. So the hitter grid, FantasyPros has the hitter matchup grid, which tells you about how many games teams are playing. The pitchers they're going against. Here were the top 5 this week. Bubba, if anybody comes to mind as a player you might want to pick up because of this, let me know. But the top 5, number 1, the A's, number 2, the Rangers, number 3, the Orioles, number 4, the Red Sox, number 5, the Mariners. Best matchups versus how many games and what pitchers are going against. A's, you immediately kind of jump out to think of the guys like Seth Brown. Rangers, Robbie Grossman, who we mentioned, who had been hitting 3. Those are a couple of those players if you want to end up taking a look at. Anybody else jump out of the as far as like the top 5 on the hitter grid?
Ryan Noda's playing well also. Rangers getting Josh Young back on Monday is a big one. So keep all eyes on that one. Otherwise, the Red Sox, we'll talk about one of these players later. Cedeno Rafael has been leading off on just torching baseballs right now. So he was actually a focus of mine this past week. And then Wilyer Abreu, they faced 5 righties this week. He should play a ton as well. So those are 2 guys that are widely available on waiver wires.
Over on the pitching side, throw out a couple pitchers and get your take on it. This one I actually thought was really interesting. If you guys are doing pickups here on Monday, depending when you're listening, if you're on the live stream always can pay off here. You had Brian Wu going up against Oakland and JP Sears going up against Seattle. They're facing each other. If you had to pick one to stream, which one would you want to go on?
Which one between the 2? That's a tough. I'm going Brian Wu.
I think I'm going Brian Wu as well, but
Yeah.
Sears has had some performances. 2 others. Well, I'll tell you the king. Edward Cabrera today versus the Mets. Yay or nay?
Yay.
Strikeouts, yay. Ratios, maybe.
I'm rostering him, but I'm also in a weekly league. He's 2 starts, so that made it easy for me.
Okay. Clevenger got to still be the king if he is available out there. We've talked about him so much. I'm not really sure he is available for anybody, but Clevy's got Washington. He's like a no doubt. Tomorrow, Assad versus Pittsburgh. Yay or nay?
Yay.
That is a big yay for me. Tomorrow's better, by the way.
Yep.
Kenta Maeda versus Cincinnati. Yay or nay?
In Great American Small Park, I'm going to go nay.
I'm going to still go yay. Drew Rom versus Milwaukee. Yay or nay?
Oh, man, depends on what you need. I'm going to go nay, but I get it. I get it, too.
Nay. I'm going to go nay on that. No, thank you. Sabo said, what about Giolito? Always nay. Even if he's good.
Awesome last week. So darn good. He totally
you're going to put him in your lineup when everything it counts on everything?
Who's he facing next week?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Unless
okay,
it's AAA.
It
doesn't matter who he's facing. Absolutely not. I'm not putting Giolito out there. If you really don't care about ratios, if you have a league where you don't have whip, ERA, wins, losses, innings pitched, if you have innings pitched and strikeouts, then I'll put him in. He faces the Royals.
Royals, yeah, it's tempting.
It's actually not a bad matchup. You guys go ahead. You put your whole thing on the docket there. Also on the rookie lookie side, A's are calling up Joey Estes. Actually, Joey Estes they're calling him up today, so I don't know if I don't think they're using him today. But Estes has traveled around through their minor league system. Used to be with Atlanta, AA, AAA. AAA, he's had 7 games played, 6 started. 5.23 ERA, hasn't been good in the PCL. He was really good in AA. Might be someone to pay attention to if it's a good matchup, but I'm probably not doing anything with him. Let's go to some listener questions, what you guys have been asking. Lee said playoffs. It's a points league. He gave us the points. I can swap out 1 RP for an SP. Would you bench either Clase or Trevor May, who have 7 games, for Maeda, Kirby, or Garrett? I would bench May for Kirby.
Yeah, 100%.
100,000 gajillion percent. Right?
Kirby, easy. Yeah,
Kirby versus Oakland.
Yeah, you start that one every moment you can and hope for the win and the quality. You open for 15 points plus there.
Oh my God, Kirby versus Oakland. I am all about that. By the way, Nick, I gave Nick crap. I told him we're on the live show. Yeah. I was like, LOL, you sent me a link and you didn't even answer. I'm dying doing this live on a show. He said, it's a young man's floor. You get a shag rug for your first dorm room floor.
See, I knew it was something along those lines. Because I looked up the glossary on their website. There's nothing on there. So I was like, this is garbage.
Rookies are more volatile, especially after 2 starts. We don't know how bad the floor. God, he's like, really, what is Nick doing right now? He's got too much. He doesn't have any time. Reagan's is more established at the point, and I believe I said, God, I love you. All right. That's that. Nick Pollock is one of the best in the industry, and he also is absolutely the dad jokes of the end. Like, I love his puns. It is wholesome and family friendly, and the shag rug example is the best.
I knew it had something to do with like he's young and new type thing. I knew it.
Oops, I put God. Hold on. I love you. See, this is what you get at this point of the season where we're just live texting fantasy analysts. Yeah, so that's a pretty easy answer, Lee. It's a good question, but yeah,
Kirby
rock with
day.
Kirby. Get me the hell
All
out of
day.
there. We had Chris Wheeler versus the Braves.
Yes.
You cool?
Yeah,
I'm cool.
especially if Cunha's out, it's even better. But Wheeler, like there's a certain caliber called an ace. You just roll. That's just how it goes. Everybody else, I'm cool with you sitting. Wheeler's that dude.
If your dude who got you here gets you out, like that's just chalk it up to the game.
Breaks. Those are the breaks. I've had to tell people that in my Discord, like, well, so and so. I'm like, dude, you've rolled with him all season long. Don't even start now.
Yeah, feel good about it. Sabo Championship Week, Mountcastle or CES?
Mountcastle's hurt. Mountcastle's hurt right now. So CES. That's the only option.
CES really. For me as well because of that. We had BT Fouts said made the finals. Oh, this was just that other one where it's like, hey, congratulations to everybody that made it. Congratulations, BT. Whips, pick 2 to start. Morel versus Pittsburgh and Colorado with 6 games. I love that you did it like this, Whips.
Yes, thank you.
Outman, Detroit, San Francisco, 7 games. Jordan Walker, Milwaukee, San Diego, 7 games. I think you got your answer with those last 2 when it hits the 7 games. Morel is so inconsistent with the contact. I mean, Morel and Outman might be Spider-Man meme to each other, but Outman's better. And Jordan Walker is just, more of a consistent bat in general. And those are not horrible matchups for really anybody. The only difference, I understand the question, Colorado being in there, does that make Morel more exciting?
It's in Chicago, though. And there's 5 righties for Morel this week, so he might sit a couple of those games.
Yeah, so no, I think that's an easy one. Who's a better streamer today, Cabrera versus the Mets or Clevinger? It's Clevy.
Clevinger. Yes, definitely Clevinger.
All right. And then finally, Whips, pick up 2 starting pitchers. Pick 2 starting pitchers to start weekly quality starts. Lugo versus Colorado, Kirby, Woo. And the last one, I think you missed the person because it's just at Texas. I mean, Kirby for sure here. And then really, Woo or Lugo for you?
It's Woo. Give me the Oakland matchup all day, every day. Give me Lugo. Lugo's been very good, but give me the woo.
Yeah, we're gonna woo it. We're gonna woo. Ace is gonna ace too, everybody. That is 100%. All right, I'm gonna give you the hint today because we're gonna get to it very shortly here. For where in the world are Welsh and Corbin Carroll? Is everybody ready? The hint today: sunglasses. The hint today: sunglasses. That's your hint on where Corbin and I are. Sunglasses. There you go. Take a little hint there. Injuries. Shut up, Bubba. Be quiet. Injuries. Shohei Ohtani done for the year. This is kind of a bit of late news because this happened over the weekend. Cleared out his locker. He was done, and he is gone and probably never going to be an Angel again, right?
Yeah, the weirdest part was it was so cryptic. He cleared his locker out. There'll be more news to come. Next day, it's like, hey, he's on the IL, done for the season. More news to come. Then there's videos of him landing in Japan. More news to come. More news never came. So there's something going on. Like there is a falling out, which makes sense, obviously, but something happened that I'd love to know about.
Yeah, well, I think we know what something happened was the Angels just Angel.
Did like Shohei finally say, F you, I've had enough? Like that's what I want to know.
There were like, I don't know how true it was, but there were like pictures of him like already in Japan. Like he just.
That's what I said.
Like,
I just said. Like,
I didn't hear you say the Japan
in an airport in Japan. Like more news to come. It's like he literally packed his bag, got on the private jet, took off.
He's like, saw ya.
Yeah, whatever's left behind. Just whatever you guys want to do with it. Go for it.
I guess. I thought
it's like when you move out of your dorm in college, you leave a few things straggling. Yeah, sorry, that's what it is.
Yeah, he hit 18 years old and he moved out immediately.
Getting a big boy now.
Yeah, he instantly moved out. Tristan Casas is on the IL with a shoulder injury. That is likely going to end his season. Boo. Tyler, this is, by the way, end of season. When you hit the IL, your season. I feel like
I didn't need to put that, but I put it just in case because people should know by now.
No. I'm glad you did it, but I always find this hilarious because this is the point of the year where like you go to Roto World and they'll be like season likely done, and it's like, yeah, duh. Like we all know that the whole season is going to be done for any guy that hits the IL.
There's max 13 or 14 games left. The 10-day IL stint, probably done.
So Casas done. Tyler O'Neill was placed on with a foot sprain. He's likely done. That's no bueno. Hassan Kim was scratched from Sunday's game with abdominal pain. He is day-to-day undergoing some further testing, so pay attention to that for this week. Felix Batista threw his first live bullpen, and he's potentially lining up to return before the season ends. So that could be like a quick little shot in the arm for roto people that go to the end. Head-to-head people,
he's done.
You should be done this week. I just want to point out, like, okay, if you want, maybe it's you could do the 2-week thing into the final, but I'm like, you don't do it to the end of the season.
Don't mess with the last week where a starter only goes 1 inning because they want to rest him for the playoffs, all kinds of goofy stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's even more crushing than the random loss your 1 week when you've dominated all year.
100%. Yeah. So, but watch for him in those. Someone asked this earlier. Rangers manager Bruce Bochy told reporters that Josh Young had played 3 innings in what's going on right now is Instructs in an instructional league game at the complex right across the street from me in Arizona. And he had a really good day. And there's rumors that he could be back this week, maybe even today. Yep. So you might get Josh Young back. So be on the lookout for that. And then the one we got right before the show was Tanner Bybee hit the IL with a hip injury. Going to end his season. I wonder, like, if it's something we could have pushed through, but he had 150 innings. They probably didn't want him to go too much further anyways, I guess.
A quick thing. Harrison Bader just went on the IL as we're recording. I don't really care too much about that, but if you're in leagues where you can pick up Reds who play all week in Cincinnati, that opens up outfield platooning situations that are now out of the way. So something to think about for your teams.
Something to think about. 3 up and 3 down. Jake Rogers, 2 for 3, 2 homers over. This was on Sunday. Chas McCormick, 3 for 4, 2 stolen bases. He has been such a dude this year. Such a great pickup too out there. Carlos Rodon, 6 2/3, 10 strikeouts. I still want no part of it next year. 0 shares, friendos. On the 3 down, Derek Rodriguez took him 2 innings to give up 8 earned runs. That's not as easy as you'd think. Charlie Morton, 4 2/3, 6 earned runs, walked 5. Bluch for Charlie Morton and your team. Jeremy Pena, 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. He has been, I'm continuously working on my dynasty stuff. I just can't move him further down. I can't move him down enough.
He's been so disappointing, man.
Yeah, 100%. Not disappointing. PrizePicks. That's right. Promo code leading off. Get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Go and download the app. Start prize picking today. We do it. You can do it. Have so much fun and enjoy free money. Who doesn't enjoy free money to prize pick and have the best time of your life? Bubba, prize picking. What are you picking today?
Well, today's National Cheeseburger Day, and they're having $5 cheeseburgers in Miami. So I'm going with Jake Berger over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. That just, says it itself for you. Yep. Trey Turner over 8.5 fantasy points in a great matchup for the Philadelphia Phillies versus Kyle Wright. Then Jose Altuve over 7.5 fantasy points versus the hungover Orioles and John Means. Because the Orioles, we didn't mention it, clinched the playoff spot yesterday. And if you want some inspirational videos, watch Twitter. Those boys had a great time.
Dude, what is with I just did this bit with my wife last night. She told me, she was like,
was this for
no, but she was like, it was National whatever day. And I was like, when did we get to the place where every day is National something?
There's multiple days each day. Like there's a National Bubba Day. I have saved in my phone just so I can make fun of people.
Can I have a National Welsh Day?
We can call it that if you want.
I mean, sure. Aren't those called like birthdays too?
That's
like
I mean, thought, yeah.
For people, it's like birthdays. Like mine would be April 22nd, but that's my birthday. But like it was like National Dog Day the other day, and it was like National Daughter Day or Gymnastics
National
Day.
Second Sibling of the Family Day.
I should start making it up. I'm gonna start making up holidays and see if we can get any to stick.
Next year, instead of Where in the World is Carol and Welsh, let's do a whole what day is today gonna be?
Now I bet there's a National Travel Day. Someone's gonna tell me 100%. That. Do you know what today is?
They call that day before Thanksgiving.
Today is National Shag Rug Day. Thank you, Nick Pollock. National Shag Rug Day.
Makes me want to go watch Austin Powers and go see Elizabeth Hurley.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Heather Graham. I'm a little bit more Heather Graham than Elizabeth Hurley.
That's fair. They're both fine. I'm not gonna say no to either.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do a poll. Heather Graham. All right, my prize picks today. I didn't mean that. Corey Seager, 8.5 on the fantasy score. Luis Ariz, 7.5. And I will take 1 total base from Paul Goldschmidt today. That is what is on the prize pick. So give me that. As far as bets are tough. We found something very interesting. And I think this has to do with the time of year. But a certain book that Bogman too, but Bubba and I both like to look at. There's no props. Like props are usually up the night before.
Mhm.
There are multiple games without props. And I think they're doing this because of the volatility of the market with like pitchers only going 3 or 4. Maybe there are people not knowing it, but it's crazy. Like 20 minutes before going on here, looking at some books, there are 0 props for teams. So it is them not wanting to get taken advantage of, which kind of stinks that that's
Yep.
going on. So it made this a little bit tougher. So I'm playing a lot of my first fives and stuff like that. But where are you going to try to go to?
Yeah, you guys all know I like to play prop bets. It's my DFS mentality, but I couldn't today. So we're going first 5. I got the White Sox first 5 minus 125. We like Clevenger in that one. Phillies first 5 minus 125. I love Wheeler over Kyle Wright any chance I can. And then just to have some fun, let's get real wild. Milwaukee first 5 minus 1.5 runs, not 0.5 for plus 140. I love Freddie Peralta over Wainwright that much. I think the Brew Crew have some fun with Waino.
All right, my bets for today. I've got Minnesota through the first 5 to be up by a run. Pablo Lopez on the mound today, minus 115. So they got to be up by a run through the first 5. I've got the Chicago White Sox. Told you about Clevenger. Just a straight money line, minus 125 up against the Nationals. And then I'm going with Miami and the New York Mets through these are all first 5 bets. 4.5 run over, minus 125. So got to be 5 runs scored in the first 5 for Miami and the Mets. A couple funny ones in here. Apparently, there is National Whales Day for Welsh. That's March 1st. So that makes sense. This is a good one. Richard said August 29th is National Welsh Day because that's the day that Carol got the call. That is actually very slick and a very good idea for sure.
Done, Richard.
And Jason has a great one, but I'm not going to mention.
Put that on the screen.
Not going to mention what Japan.
Maybe that's why Shohei went home. Maybe that's the day Shohei went back.
Oh man, I am. It is late in the season now. This is a stream only laugh if you guys can see the chat on what it is. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. All right, DFS. This is you get to go on this. What do you got for DFS there?
Freddie Peralta, 11.3K versus the Cardinals. We love that one. Clevenger, 7.6K. We've mentioned our love for Clevenger all day against Washington. And then Brian, 7.2K versus Oakland. Stacks, Milwaukee versus Waino. Padres versus, I believe it's going to be Ty Block at the moment. Philadelphia versus Kyle Wright. And Houston versus John Means. If you can do Milwaukee, Houston combined, I love it a lot. Value, Ceddanne Rafaela, outfield shortstop eligible at 3.5K versus Monty. And then Mark Canha has been on fire. He's 3.2K against Wainwright, leading off a lot with Yelich not on the aisle, just day to day. So Canha at 3.2K could be a nice one.
All right, where in the world are Welsh and Corbin Carroll? The guess was sunglasses. Let's go through the video, my friends. The guess or the hint was sunglasses. And let's take a look at some of the guesses. We had Colorado, Dion, Colorado, also Colorado. So, Bubba, do you have a guess what sunglasses means where Corbin Carroll and I were?
I was going to say the University of Colorado in Boulder, Colorado with Dion Prime Sanders.
So I set you guys up and not one person got it wrong. Not one person wrong.
Yeah.
Because we were on the field with Coach Prime. It's the worst hint I've ever given. Look at Prime with those sunglasses. He promised us a pair. Beautiful. Totally not real. I'm waiting for my pair. I love those sunglasses. We were there as Colorado could not cover, but they go 3-0, and Coach Prime was primed up. Look how happy we are on field. We're like, hey, we're Buffaloes. We're so excited. Hey, Buffalo guys. Every single person got it right, so I stink. This is why I give you guys hard hints. This is why I want to give hard hints. I actually thought this was kind of slick. I was like, sunglasses. A couple people will get it. Every single person in the chat who guessed got it right. Not one person was like the sun or something. It was
the beach in South Beach.
Yeah, so it did not work, but there you go. That's where Corbin and I were.
Other people are hip and tuned to things that are going on, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, no, you guys are all on it too. And I appreciate the continued Welsh association. Jenny Butler tweeted, I think they talked to Corbin Carroll, and then she's like, why do they not talk about his best friend, Welsh? And Eno has his article out, which did not mention me, by the way, which is very disappointing.
What kind of friend
Corbin
is that?
Carroll. I know. I thought I had really good friends, but apparently not. It's apparently not good friend day. All right, friendos, it is home run call time. Let me get back to our screen so we can take a look at the home run board, which I'm not on, so it is so less important than it's ever been. And it is flying away. Blue Harvester at 60 homers. He has cracked the 60 mark. He or she, I don't know. JJ Tater, 55. Razor Ramon, 53. Those are the only 50s. This is the critical week. You got to be within 2, I think, going into next week to try to lessen this gap. Wonky's down at 7. Good job on Wonky. I think I haven't cracked 45 yet. So, like I said, life is stupid and everything doesn't matter. So I'm not there. Where are you going to go with your home run call today, Bubba?
I don't love it, but I'm going with Alex Bregman against John Means, short porch and left in Houston. So I think Houston has a big night, and Bregman's a part of it.
I'm going to go with PD Alonso. PD Alonso for the big home runs. I'm trying to get a couple. Like I said, my goal, I think I'm at 43. I just want 45. I want to get to 45. Well, I really wanted to be the number 1 person in the home run calls on FantasyPros, but Wonky is, I have very little time to be able to pass Wonky. She just keeps rocking that stuff out. And that is it, friendos. That is going to do everything for whatever we can prep you guys for the day. For the next couple days, we'll be back on Wednesday doing this show live. Bubba and I at 12:30 Eastern. I always have to remember what it is Eastern time. Bring your questions. Where are me and Corbin Carroll? We'll talk more about streamers and pickups, and we'll just get you guys prepped. And remember, next week is the final week of leading off for the season. So make sure you're hanging out with us. If you're on the podcast, come and hang out in the live stream. You can see me absolutely fall over on the floor when Bubba made an off-color joke there that got me a little bit. So you can do that and have so much fun. You can find him on Twitter at BDintric. You can find me on Twitter at IsItTheWelsh. You guys have a fantastic week, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday right here on Leading Off. Peace, friends.